A rogue planet drifts through the dark right now, untethered from any star, and it has been wandering for billions of years with no sun to warm it. No light, no orbit, no home. But what's even crazier is that scientists estimate there could be more rogue planets in our galaxy than actual stars. Silent and invisible, drifting past us in numbers too large to count. This is a catalog of the hidden horrors sitting just outside your window, scaled from the merely strange to the truly reality-breaking. Level 1 is a rogue planet like the one you just heard about. These are worlds ejected from their solar systems, flung out by gravitational chaos during formation. Picture Earth, ripped from the sun, tumbling into permanent night. Its oceans would freeze solid within years. Astronomers using microlensing surveys have detected dozens of these drifting bodies since 2011, but the models suggest the real number in the Milky Way could reach into the billions. But the next level does not just wander in darkness. It hides in plain daylight instead. Level 2 is a rogue black hole. Unlike its planetary cousin, this object does not just fail to emit light, it actively devours it. A rogue black hole has no host galaxy tether, no visible accretion disk, nothing to give away its position except the way it bends starlight around itself. In 2022, astronomers confirmed the first isolated stellar mass black hole using exactly this kind of gravitational distortion, spotted only because a background star's light flickered as the invisible object passed in front of it. If one like this crossed near our solar system, we might only notice from subtle shifts in planetary orbits. And that leaves the question of what happens when an object gets stranger than being merely invisible. Level 3 is a magnetar, and it answers exactly that. A magnetar is a dead star's collapsed core, spinning with a magnetic field trillions of times stronger than Earth's. Get within 1,000 kilometers of one, and the field would distort the very atoms in your body, stretching electron orbitals until your molecular structure fails. Your molecular structure would fail. Magnetars were first theorized in the 1990s and confirmed through soft gamma repeater observations, objects capable of releasing more energy in a fraction of a second than our sun emits in years. But even something this violent is not the most alien object on this list. The next one does not just have a strong pull, it has an impossible one. Level 4 takes us to a neutron star. This is what remains when a massive star collapses without quite forming a black hole. Take the mass of our entire sun and compress it down to the size of a city, and you get a neutron star. A single teaspoon would weigh billions of tons. Some neutron stars, called pulsars, spin hundreds of times per second, sweeping beams of radiation across space like a cosmic lighthouse, first identified by radio astronomer Jocelyn Bell Burnell in 1967. But density alone is not where the scale stops climbing. The next entry takes gravity somewhere even matter cannot survive. If you have made it this far into the hidden dangers of the cosmos, drop a like right now, because the next entry on this list is where light itself stops being able to escape. Level 5 is the black hole itself, the true boundary where physics as we understand it begins to fail. A black hole forms when enough mass collapses into a point so dense that its escape velocity exceeds the speed of light. Cross the event horizon, and there is no turning back, no signal, no warning that reaches the outside universe again. The first ever image of a black hole's shadow was captured in 2019, showing the supermassive object at the center of galaxy M87. But size alone does not define horror here. The next level is not bigger, it is closer. Level 6 lives at the center of our own galaxy. Sagittarius A star sits roughly 27,000 light-years away. A supermassive black hole, with a mass 4 million times that of our Sun, and yet it is small enough on the sky that imaging it in 2022 was compared to photographing a tennis ball sitting on the surface of the Moon. Every star in our galaxy, including our Sun, orbits this hidden giant, completing one loop roughly every 230 million years. Sagittarius A star sits mostly dormant, like a lion sleeping at the center of the galaxy. But dormant does not mean safe, and the next level shows exactly what happens when that sleep ends. Level 7 belongs to the quasar, and it answers what happens when a black hole wakes up and feeds. A quasar forms when a supermassive black hole actively pulls in surrounding gas and dust, heating that material to temperatures exceeding 10 quadrillion times hotter than the surface of any ordinary star. This process can outshine every star in the host galaxy combined, visible across billions of light years. TON 618 is estimated to hold a mass tens of billions of times that of our Sun, an object so large it could theoretically be capable of pulling in something the size of Pluto's entire orbit without resistance. But even a feeding giant like this has a natural limit. The next level removes that limit entirely. Level 8 is what physicists call a naked singularity, a theoretical point of infinite density with no event horizon to hide it. Every black hole discovered so far conceals its singularity behind a boundary that keeps its interior invisible. A naked singularity would expose the raw mathematics of collapsed spacetime directly to the rest of the universe. Something general relativity suggests should not be able to exist, and yet the equations do not strictly forbid it either. No horizon, no shield, no separation between our reality and a point where the rules break down. But an object breaking the rules of gravity is not the same as an object breaking the rules of matter. The next level does exactly that. Level 9 takes us into strange matter, sometimes theorized to exist inside an object called a quark star. Under extreme enough pressure, protons and neutrons are thought to dissolve into their fundamental particles, forming a new state of matter, denser than a neutron star but not quite collapsed into a black hole. Some theoretical models suggest that if a small piece of strange matter ever made contact with ordinary matter, it could convert everything it touched into the same exotic state, layer by layer. Nobody has confirmed this object exists. Nobody knows if it ever will be confirmed. But the next level is not about matter transforming. It is about space and time no longer agreeing on the rules at all. Level 10 is where dimensions stop cooperating. You perceive 3 spatial dimensions: height, width, and depth, plus time as a 4th. But certain string theory models require up to 9 additional spatial dimensions. Folded so tightly, they remain undetectable at any scale we can currently measure. These extra dimensions are not science fiction speculation. They are a mathematical requirement for some of the most rigorously tested equations in modern physics to remain internally consistent. A hidden ingredient the equations seem to require in order for reality itself to function. And if those dimensions are real, the final entry on this list suggests our universe might not even be the only side of the equation. Level 11 is the concept of vacuum decay, and it closes this list because it does not threaten a planet, a star, or even a galaxy. It threatens the fabric of physics everywhere at once. Some models suggest the vacuum of space itself might not be in its most stable possible state, sitting instead in a kind of false calm. If a lower energy state exists and a shift ever occurred, the change would propagate outward at the speed of light, rewriting the fundamental constants of reality in every direction it reached. Nothing can outrun light itself. This remains entirely theoretical, resting on the edges of quantum field theory rather than any observed event. But it stands as the final reminder that everything on this list, from a single wandering planet to the black hole at the center of our galaxy, exists inside a universe whose most basic rules may still be far stranger than we have measured. If you are not ready to leave the dark spaces of the cosmos just yet, there is a whole playlist waiting, exploring black holes, dead stars, and the physics that holds reality together, one hidden object at a time. Subscribe before the universe finds a new rule to break, and we will see you in the next one.